Earlier this year, management here at 11 News approached me about some trip to Alaska. At the end of the meeting, I said, let me get this straight. You want to pay me to go along with viewers on a vacation. Naturally, I told them if you're going to twist my arm like that, I'll try to find a way to make it happen. Don't tell them, but it turned out to be a pretty great week of work. So over the next 3 nights, photojournalist Todd Gilbert and I take you along for our adventure to Alaska. The anticipation has been building for months when finally the time comes to embark on the trip of a lifetime. We're off to the majestic mountains of Alaska, but first have a few stops to make along the way. It all starts in the Pacific Northwest, spending our first night in Seattle, taking in the great sights of this bay town and thinking ahead to what's coming our way.
Well, we're just looking forward to everything. I'm afraid that it's going to generate future trips to Alaska because we're just going to be able to just get a bird's eye view of many of the towns.
Chuck and Barb Harvey of Grand Junction are part of the group. For Chuck, this vacation marks a milestone.
It's the 50th of all 50 states that I've been in.
Barb has a few states to go before she catches her husband, but even for her, this trip has added meaning. As a retired teacher, she looks forward to a special reunion.
One of my former students from middle school moved to Anchorage about 6 years ago, and we're going to meet him for dinner when we're here.
And speaking of catching up with old friends, look who we found in Seattle. Chris Miller and Elise Webb are former members of the 11 News team. They worked with us a little more than 2 years ago.
I miss Grand Junction. I loved it there. That's where I got my start. I love everybody in Grand Junction still, and I really just think about it all the time. My favorite part of Junction was JUCO, and I'm going to miss all those guys, and I always do.
Since leaving Grand Junction, where the two met, they have tied the knot, and Chris is now working as a sports anchor in Seattle.
We're very happy to be here with you guys and looking forward to the trip, and I know we're going to have a great time.
Later, our eyes set on the place the entire world was watching just months ago. BC Place, where the Olympic Games officially opened and came to an end. And the now green mountains that surround Vancouver, where athletes poured their heart and soul in search of Olympic gold. For Kay Rushing of Clifton, this big city offers a much different pace. But what really sticks out to her is just how fast it seems that the city has moved on from hosting the world.
I was surprised that you couldn't see more evidence of the Olympics. And then I heard that they didn't really do that much building, in particular for the Olympics.
Then the sight that really got our hearts pounding, literally. The Volendam from Holland, America, our home for the next 3 days. And talk about million-dollar views. Nancy Evans of Grand Junction says setting sail is truly something to behold.
It was just kind of peaceful and nice. It was a perfect day. It was beautiful. The sun was out. It wasn't windy. It was just beautiful.
Unbelievable sights in every direction as we spend the first night at sea cruising the coast of British Columbia. Yeah, tough work, but someone's got to do it. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow night at 10 for part 2. That's when we go cruising the Inside Passage. We also make a stop in Juneau.